Hey folks, Pops here again from Bourbon and Banter, and today we're taking a look at the X5 from StilL 630 Distillery in St. Louis, Missouri. This is the month 5 release in what's going to be a 60-month journey, and today this whiskey is all about... Alright, let's go ahead and dive in and check it out. Alright, as we hinted to in the intro, the X5 release this month is a corn whiskey, actually. It's 100% single ingredient flake yellow corn, and it's been double distilled and then aged in the 15-gallon oak barrels like the rest of the experimental collection with a number 3 char for roughly 13 months. So a little bit over a year. It's unfiltered, and once again, like the other samples, it's been bottled at 100 proof, so we can have some comparison consistency over the span of the 60 months that this experimental collection is going to be released. Now, as a corn whiskey, it's going to be obviously laden with a lot of corn notes, right, from aroma to flavor. But obviously, what we're interested in seeing is how is the 13 months in those barrels, especially since they're small, affected it. Well, you know, like with the rest of the whiskeys in this series from StilL 630, the nose has that present oak from their small barrels that we've quite become accustomed to. But it feels like, or it smells like I should say, it's more prominent than usual. And there's a lot of spice, but obviously the big note here is corn. That's all that's in it. It's young. It's very, very prominent on the nose. First impressions, it tastes young, more so than the previous whiskeys in the collection we've had. Lots of robust corn flavor with that corn sweetness, mingled in with the toasty spice that comes off of the barrels, and some of the tannic notes as well from those barrels being young. I won't lie, this one has a pretty good punch to the back of it as it goes down your throat. It's a little rougher, if you will. I'm not a big fan of saying smooth or rough, but there's some alcohol bite to this one that has been mellowed in some of the other releases. You know, while I wouldn't categorize this as something that I would want to be drinking on a regular basis, and that's true of most corn whiskeys in general for me, it's interesting to see how the barrels and the time have worked out on this one. And one of the reasons that they decided to release 100% corn whiskey in the series is it's a base component of what they're doing with a lot of the other whiskeys. They thought it would be a great way for the consumer to experience one of the raw forms of liquid that is going into some of the other whiskeys. And for that alone, it's worth having and getting a bottle and experimenting that. And while I don't think this is something that I would pull out and drink very often, it could be interesting to see how this would taste if they were to age it longer. So that being said, 100% corn whiskey, aged 13 months in a number 3 char 15-gallon barrel. It's robust in terms of young oak, corn, toasted spice from that wood, with a little bit of a punch on the back end. But all in all, another great example of putting an experiment in a barrel, seeing how it works, and then seeing how the sum of the parts come out better later. Well, until next month when we review a 100% Applewood smoked barley whiskey, which will be the X6. I want you guys to drink curious, and if you get a chance, head on down to StilL 630. Cheers.